I've hired over 2,000 remote team members for hundreds of different businesses over the last few years. And I'm going to show you exactly how to hire people who won't flake, won't ghost you, and actually perform like A players without wasting time and money on different resources. Most founders are hiring wrong. They're spending hours reviewing cold applications, hoping to find a needle in a haystack, and what they really need is a repeatable system that brings in top-tier talent to them. This video isn't about tips. It's about replacing the trial and error hiring with something that works consistently, because your team is either gonna help you scale your business or stall it. Let me walk you through what's actually working in today's market, and whether you're hiring your first ever VA or you're building an offshore team and scaling a 7 or 8 figure business, this video is for you. Let's dive in. If you're serious about hiring remote talent that can actually help you scale your business, that can actually help you get results, you need to stop gambling and start building a system. Most founders I talk to are stuck in one of two traps. Either they use Upwork and Fiverr because it's fast and cheap, or they're hiring on their own through referrals, which is completely unpredictable. And both lead to the same result: inconsistent hires, flaky communication, missed deadlines, and zero accountability. So let me show you what to avoid and what to do instead. Step 1, don't hire from platforms where the talent is trained to churn. Upwork, Fiverr, online jobs are marketplaces. And just like Amazon, they're built for buyers' convenience, not for quality or retention. So what does this mean for you? Well, you're hiring someone that's juggling multiple different jobs, not purely focusing on you, which means you're not getting someone committed, you're getting someone that's jumping from gig to gig. And most likely they're not gonna be a culture fit if you're looking for someone that can come in and own the position, not be an order taker. So let's be honest, you cannot build a real company full of freelancers who are not culture fits and are purely there to take orders and do the tasks instead of coming up with ideas and ways to make the company and the role much better. Stop hiring for availability, start hiring for alignment. Step 2, build a real hiring process. Most founders start the hiring process by posting a vague job description that doesn't tell any candidates about the company, mission, vision, or even what the role truly entails. So here's what you actually need. First, create a detailed job description. When you go to ChatGPT, and if you've used ChatGPT for your own benefits and asked it questions about the company and ideas, ChatGPT has already done some research about you and your business. And if it hasn't, you need to create a prompt about what does this role entail? What is your company about? What is the mission and vision of this company? What is this role gonna be in the coming months? What is the pay for this role? What is the schedule for this role? Are there any benefits? Are there any bonuses? What is the day-to-day like? Who is someone that should not apply for this role? Do you see how many things I just covered? That is a detailed job description, and ChatGPT can help you craft a very detailed one. And one more thing, please be as specific as possible and look over the last 30 to 60 days, what was this role like? Or is this a brand new role? The more honest and clear and open you can be, the better it is to attract a true A player for this position. Number 2, a clear job scorecard. I mentioned this in the job description, but have a scorecard that details what are the next 30, 60, 90, 180, and 365 days for this role and the company look like. What do you predict that this role is gonna look like, and what do you predict for the company to look like? Number 3, each candidate must submit a video to prove that number 1, they understand English, but for you to be able to see what do they look like, what do they sound like, and overall, what is their vibe like, right? You can tell a lot by video, but please keep in mind that not everybody is video friendly. They're a lot more shy, and do not disqualify them from the video unless their English is completely off. Okay, some people do not make videos just like this video and they're uncomfortable in front of a camera. Do not disqualify them if that is the case. Number 4, testing. And really, this is 4A and 4B. 4A is a skill test for this role. Look at the last 30 days of this department or this role, and what is a skill test you can craft that can give you assurance that this person is a good fit based on their skill for the company. And 4B is a personality test. We recommend the DISC assessment, but there's also the 16 personality test and various other personality tests that you can look online. I like the 16 personalities. DISC assessment gives me a little bit more, and they're both free. Number 5, once you have number 1 through 4, it's now time to structure your interview. I prefer to do 2 interviews. One that focuses more on the culture and making sure this candidate is a culture fit for the company. And the second one, having it more skill-based. For example, if I'm interviewing a cold caller, I'll ask him very culture fit questions and see how they operate. Are they coachable? What do they do in certain scenarios? And the second interview, I would do a role play with them to test their skills. And then I would ask them specific questions, specific scenarios, and throw objections at them to see how they react and how they overcome certain scenarios. Now, number 7 is having someone go through this process, actually getting on interviews with them and picking the best choice. And look, guys, I know this was a lot, but the best part is this will filter 90% of candidates. Most people are not gonna submit a video, they're not gonna submit a skill test, and if they do, it won't be to your standards. Step 3, stop hiring for tasks, start hiring for outcomes. So many founders hire people to just delegate certain tasks to without actually having anybody truly own the position. And what do I mean by owning the position? I mean someone that can come in and not only do the task, which is probably not complicated, but it's also creating automations or ideas or various ways of doing the task better, faster, or giving you other sorts of ideas of how to improve this department. What else can this department do, or overall the company do, to help you improve and help you make more sales or fulfill more people depending on the position? If you're consistently just hiring task and order takers, you're ultimately relying on yourself to come up with everything to improve your company. And if you look at the greatest companies in the world, Apple and Nintendo and Amazon, Jeff Bezos or Steve Jobs didn't come up with every single thing. They hired people who were smarter than them, better than them, and they knew certain things that they didn't. And they leveraged those people, and combined with their brains, they came up with the greatest products in the world. So if you're consistently hiring people who are not smarter than you, and you are the smartest person in the room, you're only gonna go as far as you will take the company. And let me tell you something, your competitors have multiple A players on their board, inside of their leadership, and it's basically 10 versus 1. They have 10 people who are motivated, who are hungry, who want to improve whatever service or product they have, versus you by yourself and your $3 to $4 hour VAs. If you want good costs money. Okay, you don't have to pay $5,000 per month for a VA, but it will cost you more than $3 to $4 an hour. And one of the things that I look for whenever I interview people is I want to see people that actually want to get paid more, because that tells me that, man, this person thinks they're worth that type of money. That's great. Now let's put them out to the test. Let's see if they're actually going to pass going through the process itself first of getting the job, and let's see if we hire them, how they're gonna perform. You wanna hire people who are smarter than you, better than you, and can do more things than you, because you're hiring them at scale. And step 4, train your team like they're gonna be with you forever. I mentioned this earlier. What is the game plan long term? What do the next 30, 60, 90 days look like? What do you, as their leader, have to work on for them to level up? Because their roadmap is only gonna be as powerful as you as the leader. What do they need to do in order to level up? And how can you consistently provide them with resources, training, and overall being there for them, and also slowly removing yourself from a lot of their day-to-day, but ultimately see how they can perform at a high level? Train people like they're gonna be there forever. So here's the big takeaway. Hiring remote talent is not about luck. It's about having the right systems, asking the right questions, and hiring the right people before you ever get on an interview. Skip on most marketplaces. Ditch the task rabbit mindset and stop hiring based on availability. You need to start hiring like a true CEO, based on alignment, ownership, and outcome. And if you want to build a real A-player offshore team that can come into your business and make a difference from day one, where you can delegate tasks and finally focus on scaling the business, you head over to remotelatinos.com and you can join our team, just like over 700 different businesses have. We've hired for appointment setters, video editors, operations, client success, and many other positions. And if this video gave you clarity, like it, drop a comment with your biggest insight, and don't forget to subscribe, because I'm sharing everything I've learned over the last 4 to 5 years when it comes to building and scaling a remote business. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.